These new idiots on what we'll call FinTok, though, I think are some of my favorite videos out there of,
Oh,
have
they're
you
great.
guys even heard of the triple lever NASDAQ, triple T, triple Q? Did you know you can make three times if you put it in this instead of the triple Q and stocks only go up? So you'll make like $50,000 in a week. And it's just like, oh my God,
They're like, okay, your statistics are based off 3 weeks of investing.
if
Cool.
even that. It's just like it's funny seeing FinTwit react to that. And I still think my favorite comment was somebody put the gif of Homer pouring his eyes out, bleach into his eyes.
God.
But
That's hilarious.
Oh
yeah, they
man.
must be all breathing a sigh of relief now that old TikTok is going to get to keep around potentially here in the old
Yeah.
west of A.
Yeah. Otherwise, the low lives have to go to reels. The real ones are doing both, but
Haha, real
I don't
ones.
want to do Instagram. Good job. I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean, are
realize
you
it.
surprised that Oracle has been declared the winner?
Yeah, I I kind of thought Microsoft was going to be the leader, honestly.
Yeah, I did
Um,
too. And I mean, the quick facts are Oracle will be the trusted technology partner of TikTok, and people are still trying to figure out or wait to hear what that actually means. It does not seem like it's going to be an outright sale to Oracle. It's going to be that Oracle is going to be hosting all of TikTok's data in some certain way that can address the national security concerns, although that is subject to debate still of even if Oracle's hosting it, that the data can't be harvested and sent back to mainland China, or that how much money you're truly going to make off TikTok. Those are that's kind of the breakdown of what we learned today.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
think. Go ahead, Ryan.
I think it's really interesting. I think it's going to be a good like safety move as far as maybe taking it away from one of the huge tech companies in Microsoft in the U.S. and going with Oracle. I think it's a cool move. We'll see what happens with it. I want to see if Walmart gets involved somehow. I heard today they're still interested in somehow partnering.
Yeah, they're interested in still acquiring a stake in it, and so I mean, so is Oracle itself. I'm assuming Microsoft hasn't lost interest, so we will see. I still think that it's highly likely that this is nixed by the Chinese government in the end, and we don't even see a sale, and we'll have to just see what happens from there. But yeah, anyway, so everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Quarterly Learnings. I am your one of your hosts, Andrew Pate. This is Justin Holder to my bottom and Ryan Rand to my left on the screen here. So today we obviously just broke down the latest breaking news on what's happening with TikTok, with Oracle reaching a supposed agreement with ByteDance, their parent company. And that's going to be submitted to the U.S. Treasury and U.S. Executive Branch for review coming up throughout this week. But yeah, let's dive into what's up, what's down for the week, guys.
And before you hit that bait, I got a little something to say about TikTok. You didn't hit me a little bit. Did what I hear from that? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like what I'm hearing by not doing Microsoft and doing Oracle instead and doing a partnership, like I said, I could be totally wrong, but I think it's doing the minimalistic thing to retain all like creative rights or any kind of thing they want to do to satisfy the U.S. government's mandate to partner or get taken over by a U.S. company. Um, I think if it does go through, that's probably why they're doing it. There's probably stuff said behind closed doors of they get to retain certain things that they want to keep. Whereas Microsoft probably was going to try to do more of a takeover and have more say. If I
Yeah,
had to guess.
yeah. I mean, obviously, this is speculation. We are not inside the room. Not inside the
No,
room.
not at all.
Your virtual background suggests that you're being haunted by some sort of sun baby. Ryan's on the golf course, and I'm at the Stamford Bridge in honor of Chelsea kicking off their newest EPL season today. But yeah, that's my understanding is that this is trying, since it's not an outright sale, because I guess it seems ByteDance was not open to that option. So what is the next rung down in the decision tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out all the details as we get them. It's going to be interesting to see like why these decisions were made. But yeah, no, I'm at Winged Foot for U.S. Open this week.
Attaboy.
Nice.
But yeah,
All right.
let's start off with what's up, what's down. I'm going to cuck you from your job holder, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
going to go now. My what's up is the value of the New York Mets. So as a depressed Mets fan, I would classify them as my second favorite team, just under the Texas Rangers. Also depressing franchise. They just sold today to billionaire Steve Cohen. So yeah, they rejected the A-Rod J-Lo mashup bid, and they went with the guy that got caught cheating in finance instead. So good job on that. Making sure that we choose the best owners for the long term there. I'm just glad the Wilpons are finally getting rid of or going to be gone. And bless up, $2.4 billion later, record sale for a franchise. That's my what's up. My what's down. I wanted to say leaving the mountains, but I'm going to go with up until recently that my Steelers bet hit. My sports betting has not been off to the hot start, just that the NFL season has seen yet. A lot of sloppy football, and I've paid the price on some of that. So thanks a lot, Falcons. Justin, how about you?
Oh, this is not a sports podcast, but I mean, I could say the same thing about my bets this weekend. What's down for me is the egregious gas prices on Lake Travis. I guess it's what's up really, but man, it's the first time I've ever had to like actually fill a tank on our boat. I was always, the little kid growing up on our boat, and never had to actually pay that bill. So I found out the hard way that you're on the lake. It's the convenience factor is going to just kill your bank account.
Way to leave your what's
A little
down
luxury.
applicable to a wider audience there.
Exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyway, what's up for me is the
Oh my God, the Titans missed the third kick this game. Sorry, bad radio.
who's got that kicker?
I don't know, but it's Goskowski.
Or, oh, okay, nice. What's up for me is the genius marketing ploy by McDonald's doing the Travis Scott meal for the most simple meal. What is it, like a double quarter pounder with cheese, French fries, barbecue sauce, and a Sprite with ice? Like, I'd order that. I don't eat meals from McDonald's. I eat lunch or dinner from McDonald's, but I might do it just to go up to the window and say it's lit.
You, yeah. I bet they haven't heard that 400 times.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's getting old right now.
Do you think that he has that McDonald's meal delivered to the super yacht off Capri Island in Italy?
Probably dropped by a drone, if I had to guess.
Yeah, Bezos is on it. He got that FAA certification, which we haven't talked about yet at all / enough on this pod yet. Then just hit him up with the old Mickey D's. Ryan, what's up?
My what's up for the week is volatility. As everybody knows right now, we're getting close to election season and just the end of the year in general. September is typically a very volatile month, and we're starting to see that. So just be careful out there and play the swings the best you can. What's down? Brady and the Bucks. Everybody thought they were going to be the team to beat this year, and they looked like dog shit. And that's what's down for the week for me.
How do you really?
Don't count them out, man. Remember that one year they went like 0-3, and they were talking about like taking him off the roster, and Belichick just laughed. He didn't do horribly, did he? I didn't really watch the game. Their defense just
he didn't do great.
One.
That it looked like a team that is new and has a lot, has some stuff to figure out. And once they
Brady, I mean, I trust in Brady, but I don't know. I mean, it was definitely not what I was expecting in game one.
Yeah, when Mike Evans has one catch for 2 yards, it's not great, even though it is a touchdown.
Yeah, I would trust the fact that the greatest quarterback of all time is probably going to succeed in Bruce Arians' air raid offense. Just my thinking.
I'm still buying Brady.
Buying Brady. We're what's up?
Hashtag
special. What's up? Buying Tom Brady. Shocker take there. Let's move on to our first segment. So our first segment today is going to be a 90-page short seller research report that we just want to say before we get into this. We have no insider knowledge of the veracity of any of the claims. That is our disclaimer. This is all commentary and our own opinions on this. We don't know. But yeah, the 90 pages, basically the TLDR is that Nikola has committed a lot of fraud in the past couple months and years. So things such as having their truck roll downhill and not disclosing the fact that that truck was not even driving itself. Something that you would assume when you see a truck in motion that it might be doing, and that they've been inflating assets, and that doesn't go well when your last quarter you have $36,000 of revenue tied to installing solar panels on your founder and chairman house. So what are y'all's thoughts on the potential alleged Nikola fraud?
Well, first of all,
not everyone at once, please. Let's keep this civil.
Look at the CNBC interview with Trevor Milton last week. I think I was with you, Pate, when we watched it. His backdrop was just like the fakest setup. He had, what was it? Like it was a random tooth in the background. Like it was everything that you would think to be the biggest dick move. Oh shit, hold on. You're gonna have to cut this. KK just texted me and said I'm yelling.
You actually sound good. So
the life of a podcast wife.
KK, I sound good.
He sounds fantastic.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Sorry, KK.
I'm not cutting.
Justin says you sound sultry.
Okay, anyways, back into it.
Life of a podcast wife.
Yeah, so his background was just ridiculous. What was like a picture of a boat? Like, I don't know. The guy's basically fake, in my opinion. And I go back to
the words like and awesome more than a 13-year-old girl does. So I don't know if that's a red flag, but it doesn't lead a lot of credence to subject matter expert or leader of potential disruptive futuristic company. I say that, and we do have Elon, but Elon is also one of a kind. So, yeah. And the sad thing is, do y'all think that there are people out there that charge people money to design their Zoom, like their backgrounds behind them to make them look austere and professional? I'm willing to bet. Yeah. Like, so you pay a design company and they go and say, oh yes, we're going to put the picture in wood paneling here on your left. We're going to add a baseball here on the right. Do you have a participation trophy of when you were 6? Yeah, let's put that over here.
Does their cost go up by like 50% if they have a British accent? Because I feel like I trust them more.
Hello. Mine.
It's better than I can do.
Can't even do it without laughing, damn it, because it's not serious. No, I can't do it.
No, don't even. You need to workshop that one a little more.
Yeah. Not while laughing, at least. But, Justin, what do you think on the alleged fraud by this short seller, Hindenburg, which is aptly named, I will say?
I wish I could say, like, I wasn't surprised, but, like, I knew he was kind of a boner. Let's just say that.
We're never getting jobs at Nikola.
No. Although I kind of still like their truck, at least the aesthetics, which kind of speaks to what their model is. No, man, I didn't expect this level of just potential incompetency. Allegedly, we don't know. It's not official yet, but come on. No, I actually give a little props to Nikola, and that's kind of how I got my kickstart to my portfolio. But I got out extremely early, kind of anticipating some downfall. I wish I would have got out a little bit later, but just to be safe, once I kind of found out what their kind of statistics were, or were going to be planned for at least a year, if not a year and a half, 2 years. I was just like, I don't really believe in this. This is more of a swing trade, get in, get out, and kind of proves I was right, maybe a little bit too early, but.
The wild thing is that this comes out 2 days after General Motors, GM, one of the biggest legacy automakers in the entire world in automotive history, comes and gets an 11% stake in agreement to manufacture parts and to lend its expertise without having to pay a dime. And now GM is just getting dragged for potentially not doing its due diligence. I've had a lot of fun with our Twitter account. I was
about to say your tweet today was great.
But I'll make sure to put a screenshot up here of it. If you are listening, make sure you are actually going to follow us so you can see my great Twitter content.
And we're very small enough to where you can DM us and or just message us in general. We'll probably give you some feedback.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just that's a wild week when you get credence by getting General Motors to basically back you as a legitimate play and alleviating the fears that are then later re-raised that week when you have a short seller come out and have a 90-page report saying that you're committing fraud. That's a hell of a week. That's not the typical 9 to 5 Monday, Friday, but I guess it is for Nikola. But yeah, so I will say, to Nicola's credit, they have finally come back and said that there were dozens of inaccurate allegations, and that they did acknowledge the truck was rolling downhill, but they claimed that, well, we never said that it wasn't rolling downhill or something.
It is self-driving. I mean, gravity's helping it maybe.
Using those G-forces to pull it downhill. But, it's just, I don't know, man. It's one of those things like, really? I feel like when you see a truck driving, the first thought in a car commercial when I see a truck driving is, I wonder if that's getting rolled down a hill.
Yeah, you wouldn't picture potentially a multi-billion-dollar company like doing shit like this, and just, man, gives you a little bit of pause sometimes.
Yeah, so we will see how that turns out. Definitely a story that's going to give us, I believe, a lot of content going into the future, just like TikTok will.
Thank you. Love to see it.
Justin, let's go. What you got?
All right. So a little more business modeling, I guess, here than talking about stocks and just kind of freedom of speech stuff. So Joe Rogan come here to Austin. Pate, you and I are both residents here.
Raised.
Yeah, and joining him join the Spotify team. So if you're a longtime follower of Joe Rogan, he's got some questionable guests and some very controversial topics. A lot of those, if not all of the extremely controversial ones, were pulled from Spotify, which a lot of his diehard followers are really upset about, because that's how he made his living, as how he made his mark, is giving anyone a platform to speak, and him questioning them and in a professional way, and is having an open platform to discuss any kind of topic, no matter what it is. So I don't know, what do y'all think about them pulling certain episodes, and kind of what that speaks to them as a brand, or potentially just is this a smart company strategy, or do you think it's detrimental to them because of what that means to their freedom of speech in their market?
So I'll start, and I'll speak as to why I think they've done it as a company, as a brand strategy, and then I'm going to pose a question. So what I believe that they've done by not having the most what we'll deem controversial for brevity and our own sanity episodes of his, is that I think what Spotify is trying to do is they're trying to not have their platform become the Wild West of content like you see with other social media platforms. Spotify is not a social media platform, but what this says is that they're taking responsibility for what they are distributing to a mass audience across the world. We do not see that very often with Facebook. We don't see that very often with Twitter, other social medias, YouTube, you name it. That's why I think they've done that, is that they are trying to limit the exposure of potential very controversial guests and topics that may be brought up and that could do harm to people on their specific platform. And then, so that's where I think they're coming from a brand strategy standpoint, is they're trying to keep their brand protected and to not be looped in with the Wild West of content that we see across all of social, a lot of misinformation, a lot of legitimate fake news, not just saying it's fake news. And that's why I think that they've decided to not have certain episodes of that. Not saying it's right or wrong. That's what I think that would be what I would pose as their likely strategy. My question is, do we know if they are able to review his upcoming and recently recorded episodes and have the right to strike those? Because this all would have been agreed upon in his contract. There's absolutely no way this subject did not get brought up when they were negotiating a, in reality, they say it's 100 million. In reality, it's linked to be more than that, several $100 million contract.
Yeah, so as an avid Joe Rogan listener, I've been listening since about episode 300 of 1500 or so. I mean, for me, it's kind of like sellout-ish for him because his whole platform. I mean, I get the complete story of brand strategy from Spotify's perspective, and I think that's probably the right move for them. But for Rogan, I mean, if you get a check for 100+ million, maybe up to 300, who knows? The details are probably pretty vague, but I get why you'd sell out and cut off some of your main stories that you've built throughout the years that helped you get to where you are. And will he lose listeners? Probably not. I mean, I'm still going to listen, and I'm sure others will. So it's not going to hurt him in the long run, but I think maybe it'll have some – he's going to have to address it at some point in one of his podcasts. Someone's going to ask him. He's going to get called out, and I'll be very interested to hear what he says about that. And maybe he'll have Alex Jones on at some point, and maybe some others that have been removed. And if he does, guess what? It's going to be a big-ass show. Everyone's going to want to listen in because everybody knows this story about them being removed. So at the same time, it could be a ploy for that as well. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm in a somewhat similar boat as you, Ryan. Like, I understand from the branding perspective from Spotify. Like, I get it from past episodes, and it doesn't upset me too much as a listener or a fan. Not even just with Joe Rogan, podcast in general. It's like, I understand it, and you can go see his previous episodes on YouTube or wherever you want to see it other than Spotify. But to answer your question, Pate, of going through the future, I do. It really concerns me that they are having a say in potentially what guests he has on, and what his content is, and that kind of just, in my opinion, is a detriment to podcasts in general, because I think that's what the beauty of it is it's unfiltered, unregistered, really. As long as you're not saying like hate speech and stuff like that, and there's anything that's like seditious, libel, or anything like in that nature.
So let me interrupt and pose a question on Alex Jones specifically. So how is him being sued by parents of Newtowns claiming that their kids that were shot and killed actors? I know it's not hate speech, but it's pretty damn close in terms of being adjacent. Like, how is that then? How are you then allowed, if you can't allow hate speech on Spotify, but you're allowed to have the guy who says that on there when he's already been thrown off of other social media platforms?
Right. I just think that he didn't say anything like that on the actual podcast, right?
But it's the totality of evidence at that point. He says it in his own content offerings.
Right. I think that's the issue right there. Is that's the split in the opinion is it, do you take the person that he's interviewing as a brand as a whole, and what he's said in the past or in the future or whatever he might say, or do you just take that interview and do you put the judgment on the listener to judge that episode in its singularity, or do you not trust them and say, oh, I liked what they said in this episode, I'm gonna go check them out, and then you fall into a rabbit hole of all this, like you said, hate speech or some ridiculous stuff that is really detrimental to their opinions,
especially on other platforms that are monetized on engagement, aka anger and misinformation.
Right. I think it's my opinion personally to put it on the individual to make that judgment. Maybe I had too much trust in the I think I do. I mean I know, I guess from experience, maybe that's not the right judgment, but I want to put more responsibility on the listener than the brand of Spotify or any other social media platform. I have the same opinion with Twitter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you go down a dangerous path when you start letting media platforms or mediums control what is said. I think Twitter has the right kind of approach in the future. They haven't implemented it yet, but they're trying to figure out how to make it work, of doing like fact checking and for major posts that attract a lot of attention to, hey, if this is wrong, they have a disclaimer on there, or they're able to pull it if it actually is fake news, as you might say. It's just it's a deep dark path potentially when you let an entity control what is said. Whether it might be great for the time being, but what if that one day you have that person that has their own agenda? Remember, getting into conspiracy theories maybe here, but like in that kind of realm. But I mean, that's kind of where my thought process goes. I'm all for free speech, and then letting the public decide if that stuff needs to be spread around or not, and putting it on those people to do their own research. And like I said, I might be putting too much responsibility on the individual.
Yeah, so I mean, Rogan's whole platform is, let's get whoever the fuck I want on here to talk through whatever the fuck you believe, and then let the people decide for themselves. And I get with Alex, it's like the guy's a nutcase, he's crazy, but like let him have
another Austinite.
I know.
Let it.
Damn.
What's my high school?
I mean, yeah,
He did.
Yes, he's one of the most famous graduates of my high school.
He didn't go to mine. I would have expected he would have gone to mine. But yeah, he had some law and order issues lately here.
Sorry, Ryan, we cut you off.
No, it's all good. I mean, I'm just thinking like there's other examples, like Roseanne Barr said some crazy racist stuff, and then his initial reaction was, I want to get her on to like say what she actually meant. And yeah. I think that's a powerful tool for our nation, is to have somewhere people can just go and talk through whatever they're thinking, and whether it's crazy, whether it's conspiracy, I mean, so with Spotify, I get it from a financial perspective.
It's the beauty of long form. It's like you have a discussion. If you know your stuff, you know your stuff. If you don't, you're exposed, I think, and what your actual intentions are.
Yep.
So to keep my Spotify brand hat on, what my response would be to that is, okay, well, go get your own website and host them there. And if you cash our check for, $100+ million, you have to abide by our rules. So kind of going back to what Ryan said, sounding like a depressed teenager that his favorite rock band sold out. But no, that would, I think, be the response is, you don't get to cash the exclusivity check and you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's what I would think they would say. Yeah, like my personal opinion, I'm split on it. On y'all, I can see both sides of it. I think something that we haven't mentioned yet is that Spotify might be trying to get ahead of any potential revisions to Section 230, which is what holds media companies liable for what's posted on their platform. So that's what television media currently has to abide by. Anything they put out on the air, they are liable for. Social media companies have been able to skirt liability for that to date, but it has bipartisan support to either abolish, which is not the actual correct way you can do it, but to revise or rewrite Section 230 to a way that, so if social media companies, and Spotify would likely fall under that, they're a media provider, are liable for what they say, then they're probably going to be stricter with what they allow to actually be said on their platforms.
So what you're saying is we can say whatever the hell we want on here, and it's not our fault if something bad happens. It is Spotify's or YouTube's fault. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm going to say
a disclaimer at the end of the videos and in the pod descriptions for this exact reason. Usually for when Ryan goes off the cuff, but
I'm a liability too. Don't worry.
No, I am too. Depends how many I've had. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I just see from. I don't know the answer going forward. I don't know if Spotify's allowed to censor his guests. I think that would be stupid for Rogan to sign an exclusive deal with somebody who is going to censor his guests.
Unless he's going Patreon route.
Yeah, and that's why I'd be willing to bet that's probably not the case. Ryan, you tell me, like, has he had any what we I guess call controversial guests since he made the move?
No, I mean Ron White,
Not controversial, just funny.
Miley Cyrus,
I mean, her VMA.
Adam Curry. I mean, yeah, nobody really that's controversial yet. We'll see what happens in the future. It'll be.
Ryan, I think you touched on it. He at some point he's going to have to address it on the podcast. He's going to get questioned about it either there or somewhere else, and he's hopefully got a good answer for it. I think he will. I'm interested to see what it is.
This extends beyond him too, because Spotify's podcasting strategy right now is to go and buy and wall off all the premier podcasting talent that they can, and gain a leg on Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, even more so. So this will come up again with other people outside of Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
I think we got enough to go off to the next one, man.
Boom.
Ryan, let's throw it up to you.
All right, so Apple has their new launch coming tomorrow. Get excited. I mean, this is always a big event every year. This one, they're planning on releasing, obviously, the details on the iPhone 12, which will be the first 5G phone. Everybody's probably going to upgrade to that one if they
be
planning on it, getting better, faster speeds and all of those things. 5G is supposed to be huge. I don't really know too much about it. And then also they're going to come out with a new iPad Air and then also Apple Watch 6. So just a lot of new things coming out.
We're Apple boys.
It's going to be fun. Tomorrow's going to be fun. The Pro Max is supposed to have a very large, extra large screen, 6.7 inch, which is bigger than any out there. Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in to see what's going on with this release. What do you guys think are some of the exciting things to be released this year?
So I don't know anything about features or anything. I hope CarPlay gets another upgrade relatively soon, just from a selfish standpoint. Ryan and I did just have the worst Ford Escape rental car that the Apple CarPlay worked maybe 35% of the time throughout the 2 weeks I had it. And then the car decided to switch out of four-wheel drive in the middle of an intersection once, and we almost got hit. Digressing. I think the fact that 5G is finally here, this is something I've been looking forward to for years. And the main reason is the expansion of IoT, the Internet of Things. Everything about a near futuristic society, especially in terms of autonomous vehicle driving, is going to be very reliant on the Internet of Things. For people who don't know what the Internet of Things are, imagine a world where everything around you has sensors that can all talk to each other. No, they're not listening to you or, recording your conversations, but just that your autonomous vehicle can take in thousands of data points, transmit that to the cars around you that also are autonomous, and that they can't hit each other. They stop at the stoplights and the intersections and don't deviate from the lanes that they're supposed to. That would be what I would, an example of that. So
the Internet of Things is like Silicon Valley, what the Apple is, right? That's basically the concept.
Yeah, I mean, and now you're just seeing a wider expansion. I'm also just excited about the fact that maybe Wi-Fi won't suck as much, or just using actual cellular data won't suck as much, and that download speeds are going to increase, and that's just going to be one pure little annoyance that we don't have to worry about as much anymore, and the race for 5G is something that will be going on for the next 10 plus years easy, and dives even further in geopolitical tensions. So we're going to save that for another time. But keep it on Apple. Yeah. I think they forecasted 70 to 75 million iPhones potential demand. So they're expecting sales. They're not expecting record-breaking sales, which I think is fair during the middle of, Corona times. So
it's my understanding this is the first time they're offering a phone that is going to cost less than the previous model. I know there's the major one that like has all the bells and whistles probably costs more, but they do offer a cheaper version, a more, I guess, Corona friendly version for anybody in trouble that still wants a new phone or needs an upgrade. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think we're all Apple boys here. As it looks, I finally made a switch over from Android, or back from Apple to Android, back to Apple.
Yeah,
after getting flamed by all my friends and getting kicked out of group messages for green text. Who would have thought that little feature would come in handy for them? No, man, I'm excited. I think y'all touched on everything. Big ass phone. It's going to be interesting to see what we will walk around with. It's every year you think it's going to be the biggest one yet, and then just keep getting bigger. Eventually, we're just going to have it implemented to our brain. But that's another conspiracy theory for later.
Elon's already there, man. Putting in pigs, Neuralink. Just wait, bruh.
Sounds like Alex Jones.
You can control your Tesla from your mind later on.
Probably already can if you want the Illuminati.
New iPhones
the baby's
are
watching
scheduled
us.
The baby is? Damn it. New iPhones are scheduled to ship October, so.
Wow, okay.
Interesting.
So, Pate, you're getting it?
Yeah, I've got the 10S Max, whatever the hell the name is.
Okay.
And so it's just the natural progression for me. About every 2 is when I get a new one. So, and I purposely held out from not getting the 11 to be able to wait and get this one. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we've got in store.
So I know you touched a little bit on 5G. I know we're really planning on talking about this, but have y'all seen the ETF? It's all 5G people that are going to implement that. Something I'm interested in kind of watching, keep an eye out for once this stuff gets rolled out.
Skyworks, American Tower. I'm already forgetting.
I forgot all the holdings. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know like Verizon and AT&T obviously are the obvious ones, but yeah, some of those other ones that you mentioned are on there too. I'm sure there's a long list, but I don't know, something to keep an eye out for. I might honestly get in on it here pretty soon. It seems like a pretty safe bet to not be totally ludicrous, but it's gonna be a long-term play.
Well, that's it's playing a trend. It's playing an increasing trend, and it's playing a pie where there are going to be multiple players. So might as well try not to pick the one winner.
Exactly. You don't know who's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know what that ETF is when you find it.
FIVG.
FIVG.
Sounds like a good one for me.
5G.
Unrelated. Yeah. The Titans just missed their 4th kick of the game.
Well, someone's fired.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. That's the end of the show. Glad sports are back. Nikola fraud. We will see what happens with that. iPhones are about to come out. TikTok. We will also see what happens with that. Spotify and Joe Rogan. Will the relationship continue as is? Some good stuff for us to revisit at another time. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, what are you doing? Go hit the button right meow.
Our lawyer's going to come after you for listening to this episode without subscribing.
That's true. We did discuss last episode during our unscripted episode, which you can expect every roughly 5 episodes, that Ryan will come and beat up anybody who does not subscribe. So I imagine his list is currently in the millions. So on that note, Ryan's going to come beat you up if you don't subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Thank you. We out. God, the Broncos suck.
Yeah.